Alright, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be doing a little bit of Gecko Moria testing because, hey, at the time of me recording this video, I'm about an hour out from going to the pre-release for OP06 over here in the West. So very excited, very stoked about that. Can't wait. So like I said, in this video, we're going to be checking out some Gecko Moria. I've got 3 games lined up for us. And I'm kind of approaching it from... I was trying to mess around with not having the Navy package. So in the decks, the games you're about to see, there's 3 of them. Like I said, you're going to be looking at a Gecko Moria list that's running off the Dressrosa engine, and of course Thriller Bark Pirates, obviously. But I tried to combo Gecko Moria with Dressrosa, and there might be something there. I'm not sure just yet, and you know, hey, y'all tell me what y'all think at the end of the video, whether you think there's something there or not. So let's go ahead and dive in, and I'll kind of talk through it as we go through it. Let me make sure everything's at like 2x speed so we can just kind of blast through these and go from there. So in this game, I have to go second. And for those who don't know, typically speaking, let me pause this. Typically speaking, for Gecko Moria, you want to go first. So that way you can use your leader's effect right away and just go to work, right? You can just go straight to work. Okay. So, but unfortunately, I got second here. I start off with a Rebecca search, and I believe I grabbed a Sabo, because I can't grab Rebecca with Rebecca, unfortunately. Okay, and they're going to swing for 7 at me here. In my mind, I'm thinking I want to keep the Yamato off of her leader's effect for as long as possible. The second effect, not the double attack she just has, but the effect to be able to attach it on. I swing 2 into the Momonosuke. That's a 2K attack into a 0. Swing 5 into their leader, and they counter out. So here... I just go, okay, I'm gonna establish a blocker, and I'm gonna establish a 3 cost 5K. Even though he has nothing on the board, I'd rather just, you know, put him in a position where I can start, you know, hang on, so much is happening so quickly. I just want to start filling up the board and put as many threats on as possible, and try to approach it that way, because anything he KOs, anything that the Yamato gets rid of, I can bring back later in the game with my leader effect or with Gecko Moria. That's my logic there. Okay. So right here, I'm thinking about what I want to do. I don't have Gecko Moria fully figured out yet, but I've got a pretty good idea of how to use it. I really want to play Sabo here. So I'm like, let me swing 5, and I'll sit back on a on my barrier, even though it's only going to be able to, you know, go 2K's worth. I have a 2K counter in hand now. I have Gecko Moria in hand, and I'm sitting on a 1-cost 2K. He plays out Hody Jones, so taps down my 2 blockers. And I'm like, all right, let's see what he swings at, though, because I'm at full life. Okay, he wants to get rid of the Sabo. I'm fine with that, to be completely honest. And right here, I have to think for a little bit. I'm like, you know, maybe I use my barrier now, because it's just a 1-cost 2K currently. And I just kind of, it basically ended up being a 2K counter in this situation, right? And that's fine. Then he swings at me. I get a Sabo from life with, you know, from his Kikanojo. And I'm, you know, at this point, I'm kind of in the driver's seat because he's at 2 life. I'm at 4. I have a blocker on the board. I'm about to play Gecko Moria and have even more stuff. You know, have even more bodies on the board. So, so yeah. And one thing I will say, unfortunately, in the, how do I say this? The sim is still a little bit wonky, and it's not, you know, the graveyard interactions can mess up sometimes. Now, I did mean to play the blocker untapped there. That's why I played the 2-cost and then the 3-cost. But yeah. Okay, so he KOs. Oh, he used reject to KO my blocker. He swings 8 at life. I take that. He swings 8 into my Hina. I'm completely fine with that. And then 5 into that Hina. In my head, I'm thinking maybe I should counter out of this. So I do. I go 2K to get out of that. He plays Momonosuke, gains a life, and now we're kind of entering into the late game. And it's like, okay, that's where Gecko Moria can really shine. If he can get into the late game comfortably, the 8-cost Gecko Moria and the leader is going to generate an infinite loop for the most part. Because Gecko Moria plays out, you let him go if they KO it, you hog back to get him back, and you just keep going nonstop. So swing 6 at life, play out Sabo, see what I can get. I've got a lot of 2Ks in hand. Barrier was not great. I'll show the list after this, by the way, guys. Or I won't show it. I'll have it linked in the comment section below. Unfortunately, I didn't record in these videos. But ultimately... Actually, I might be able to show it after this. Sorry, guys. I might be able to show it. But ultimately, you know, it didn't really... the barriers weren't great. Okay, sorry. So I swing in there with my leader. I use my leader's effect, I believe, is what just happened. And play out a hog back. And, oh, and then when I attacked, he KO'd my hog back with Nami. But I'm actually okay with that, right? I don't mind that because now I can just use it again next turn. And hog back is the card that generates a lot of value. Real quick, guys, he plays out another Momonosuke to gain another life. Think of it like this. Whenever you use your leader's effect, Gecko Moria, you have to trash a card from hand. So you are losing a card from your hand, but then you can play whatever card from your trash that's a 4-cost or less Thriller Bark Pirates type. Well, with Hogback, let's just say you do that. Let's say you trash a Hogback from your hand, and then you play out the Hogback with the leader's effect. Well, now you draw another card from your trash that you could put in your life, or excuse me, not in your life, in your hand, just by putting 2 cards to the bottom of your deck. So that card actually is generating value, whereas the leader effect usually is just going, 1 card for 1 card. Okay, like you're trashing a card to play a card, basically. 9, I'm not going to let him have that for 9. I'm not going to let him have that for 2, and I'd rather keep my blockers safe. Okay, excuse me. So right here, I'm completely in the driver's seat. I've never felt so comfortable, basically, because I can just keep generating blockers as much as I need to. I'm going to go 10 into Hody Jones, see what he gives me. Gives me a 0-cost 3K, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not in any rush. I'm just going to keep bashing in here. Trust me, that card's going away, eventually. So swing 10, use my leader's effect. I play Hogback, trash 2 cards from hand. I grab another, I think I grab a Gecko Moria. Yeah, you see how it's kind of stalling at the bottom left there, guys? There is a small glitch right now with the sim. So, we got to bear with them because, they're trying their best to keep this thing up to date. So, I'm not trying to say anything bad against them. Okay, so swing. I'm going to block out with that guy. Hang on a second. I'm fine blocking out there because I'm playing a Gecko Moria the following turn, and I'll get it right back. So let's see what he does here. So now he swings 11. I'm not letting him have the Gecko Moria. It's too much of a threat. I play out another Gecko Moria, play out Rebecca, and it wouldn't let me grab the dog. It would not let me grab the dog. Like, again, something with the graveyard interactions with the sim is a little bit wonky right now. So I go ahead and grab a Rebecca at least, grab back a blocker. I've got a 2K in hand, and then I think I grab back another 2K. Yeah, the Bartolomeo is still floating. And it's like, okay, I'm going to swing 6 into this guy. You can block out, and then I'll swing 9 into him. There's just no way out of it. I pass turn on purpose there because he has no way to win the game now. Next turn, I'm just going to alpha strike him where I just go 9s all the way down. Okay, 11 in there. Nope, you can have a 0-cost blocker. And now it's like, okay, 9 because you only have 2 cards in hand. There's no way to get out of this. 9 because, again, we knew what his top card was. He plays the top card, so I'm like, okay, 15 at face, and GG. So good game there. Gecko Moria with Dressrosa did work pretty well there. And in general, it does work pretty well. I just don't know if it's like the best version of the deck, if that makes sense. Next up, we got Red Purple Law. And this is on the EV01 Eastern client, so they should have Kid and Killer, if I'm not mistaken. Look at this pull I got, guys. Like, I have an Absalom in the trash, 2 Absaloms in hand, and 2 Dressrosa, the 1-cost -3 Hawk Couture Patchwork. Like, I don't think I've ever gotten a pull that was so anti-aggro in Gecko Moria. Right here. So, hear me out. So, man, why would you play that out, right? Why would I play out... I didn't just pause that, did I? No, okay, I thought I paused the recording. Why would I play out the 3-cost 3K Bartolomeo? Because he's just going to bottom deck it, right? That's fine, yes. I want him to start bottom decking my cards so that he gets slowed down in the long game. I'm fine with that, especially since he's on 4 Dawn this turn and not 5 to get out his... Eustace Kid. That would have changed everything if he was on 5 Dawn. But I'm okay with him using this. Because, first of all, he's going to have to play something out. He plays out his heat, minus his 3, plays out Shashi and Penguin to go back up to 3. So he went from 4 this turn down to 3. You see how I'm slowing him down incrementally there? I'm completely fine with that. Okay? Because if I had not played out that blocker there, I do not think he does that to my Rebecca. I really don't think he does. Okay, minus 3 there with the Hawk Couture Patchwork. And I was thinking about just playing out the Absalom, but why not just swing for extra with my Gecko, trash the Absalom to get more cards into my trash, then play out the Absalom and use, the extra cards from my trash I got from my leader effect to KO it. It's a little bit confusing, and I'm sorry if that didn't make sense, but I think you guys get what I'm saying there. And one thing I will say, so he plays out a Brook, that has to go. You cannot let that stick. So, okay, swings for 6, 2K counter out. He's going to return 3, and look again, he didn't click my Rebecca when he should have. Unless he wants me to start investing Dawn into Rebecca to slow me down, which I'm not going to do. Okay? Unless I absolutely have to, obviously. But I think he should have removed Rebecca. But one thing I will say is this package did work out very well with the Dressrosa stuff. Because obviously going Gecko Moria into Rebecca, like that is just such extremely... That's such a huge amount of card... such a big amount of value. Okay, so I did the Rebecca Hina combo, attack for 6. So with 7 Dawn, hang on, we got to pause. With 7 Dawn, I was able to play out a 4-cost Rebecca, which played out a 3-cost Hina, and then I played out a 4-cost Absalom that was able to KO one of his characters. And swing 6 in the process with my leader to do the leader's effect. So very powerful. Then I swing 5 with my Absalom. I'm like, go ahead and attack that if you want to, because then I'll just get to use it again next turn if I need to, with my leader's effect. Swing 7 at life. I'm like, okay, should I block this? The answer is yes, because, I need to keep as much life as possible. Because look how many cards are in the Law's hands, is in the Law's hand. And because he has bottom decked a card every single time this turn, or this game, he only has like 4 Dawn. Yeah, look at that. I think he had 6 or something. I'm not sure. Now he's down to 3. Plays out a Zoro. I'm not worried at all. Swing 5 into the Hina. And these are players from the sim. I'm not saying this is like the best player or the best example of the deck. It is what it is, though. I can't control who I play against on here. Okay, so I get another Haute Couture Patchwork. This game, if I'm not mistaken, I got 3 or 4 Haute Couture Patchworks and 3 or 4 Absaloms. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to eat up everything you put on the board. Swing 5 into the Zoro, he just lets it go. So clearly, in my mind, I'm thinking next turn he is going to like play a lot of cards out. So here we go. You didn't take out my Rebecca, so now I'm getting a free Radical Beam. So he must have drew way too defensively if he's using a Radical Beam on a 5-cost Rebecca. Okay, so that means he has straight gas in hand, right? Just like Zoros, Kid and Killers, things like that. Hog back here to get back my Gecko Moria. Or actually, I might go... Yeah, no, I do. I get back Gecko Moria. I was going to say I might grab a blocker, but no. Play out my 3-cost blocker. And now, again, are you going to trash 3 more cards? Or 3 more Dawn to get rid of that blocker? It's fine with me. Right here, I'm like, no, yeah, we're gonna take that right now with the Bart because it acts as a 2-K counter anyway. Swings in for 5. I was blocking out because I was trying to stay above 3 health so that his Kid and Killer would not get 7K. He ended up getting it anyway. Like I said, I knew he had straight gas in hand when he wasn't blocking out of those attacks earlier, but it's too late, right? I'm going 5 at life and then all 7s, and we'll see what that does. And if he starts blocking out too many, I could go at his characters. We'll see. But I was pretty confident. Like I said, he wasn't blocking out earlier, so what more could he have drawn since then? So I go, no, we're going 5 at life, and then I think I go 6, and then just all 7s. Okay, so 6, now 7. See if he gets any triggers. 7, and then if he had blocked out of this, another 7. I think he does Rad Beam out of this, by the way. And now I'm like, okay, here we go. And if you are able to get out of this, GG. It was one of those situations. I could have played it way safer there. Whoops. I could have just gone for his board, but I was just trying to, get through that game, to be honest with you. Okay, and last matchup. So last up, we have a, we've got a Luffy here. Let me blow this up. Black-yellow Luffy. Let me go 2x speed for us. And, yeah, you guys, what do y'all think about the Dressrosa engine? I understand that the Navy package is probably more consistent and probably a little bit better. But at the same time, I'm trying to get used to what, I'm trying to get that out of my system because who knows when they're going to take that from us over in the West. For those who don't know, there's been a ban in the East where Great Eruption is going to be gone. Okay, yes, it's still worth running the brand new Borsellino package, sure. But I also think Dressrosa has something to offer as well, in a different way, but who knows. Okay, so I swing in here, get out the Perona, start attacking my opponent's hand. Black-yellow Luffy is not really a leader you can attack their hand, to be honest, because he's just going to get that Sabo back later in the game. Okay, but one thing I will tell you against Black-yellow Luffy, I don't think you should swing much. I actually think you should only swing with what you have to. Like, I have to swing with my leader to get his effect off, obviously. But don't give him, make him take his own life. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Make him use cards out of hand. Make him use answers in hand to take his own life. And then just beat his board up until he has no cards left. And you'll see how I do it this game. I'm not saying it can always work. Black-yellow Luffy is a very strong deck. I will be playing that whenever it does pop out here in the East, or excuse me, in the West. Nice, right there. I got a Haute Couture Patchwork trigger. That's a draw 2 trash 1 trigger from that event. So yeah, so right here again, this is like a weird situation where it's like, do I just play out an Absalom or do I use the leader effect? I'm like, no, I need to use leader effect. I trash a Perona. I'm like, I'm not worried about these cards on the board. But looking back, I wish I had, just straight up attacked into that what's his name there. The Garp. Just that, and don't give him any cards from his life. Force him to take his own life and slow him down. Because look at that. For 1 Dawn, he used Flampy, which is an EB01 Big Mom Pirates type card, 2K counter, that can draw your last life card to draw a card from your deck as well. So 1 cost, draw 2 cards, basically, especially in a deck like this. So here we go. We're off to the race. Black Yellow Luffy is off to the races. We're not off to the races, but he is. Uses the Luffy, or excuse me, uses the Sabo to go plus 2,000 for the turn, but it looks like he didn't get another Sabo unless he's holding back on it. Swings into my Rebecca. I don't care about losing that. He was probably trying to get me to use a blocker there. Not happening. So I know that I need to like get my Gecko Moria on the board here. So I swing 7. I do hog back. I grab Gecko Moria. Okay, now he has to answer. Is he going to attack or is he going to block? Or excuse me, is he going to block? Is he going to take it? He's obviously going to block. You don't take that because then you lose the card. So I get my Gecko Moria. I still have 3 Dawn, but I just pass because he's at 7k life. I'm not going to swing my Perona sideways right now. I am going to force him, like in my mind, I want to force him to just always play out his cards from hand, and then I'll battle for the board. Okay. He puts an ace and a Luffy in his life, so he's going to use his ace 2-cost character. Notice how fast his hand size is diminishing. And this is a problem with the Black-Yellow Luffy deck, by the way. I'm not saying it's a bad deck. It's a very strong deck, but it does start to run out of cards when you start comboing like crazy every turn like this. And he's even trying to space out the combos, which is probably smart, because I'm just going to keep eating his board up. Okay, so I've got 9 Dawn this turn. I want to establish my Gecko Moria, but I also want to try to keep up pressure. Well, you got to choose one or the other. So I think I play Gecko Moria, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. I'm like, what can I get back with this? Or I might go... in fact, I'm sorry. I think I go Rebecca and I remove the ace. Okay, play out that. Get the 3-cost Hina. Play out 3-cost Hina, -5 there. I can't even swing with any of my characters, so I just... Hang on one second. I think I'm doing some math here. I'm like, wait, what do I do? I'm like, okay, I think I can swing... I'm trying to figure out what to do here because it is actually a very hard decision. But just go 6 at face. You see this? Like, I just need to activate my leader's effect and then play out my Absalom, KO the ace, and basically pass the turn back to him. All right. So again, we're just whittling down his hand. Try to get blockers on the board. That's the best way to deal with this kind of, this Luffy's type of attrition. Which, interestingly, this Luffy player is playing the 5-cost yellow Luffy. I'm not a big fan of that. I understand the synergy of, like, it allows you to take your last life. Same with that Sabo. It allows you to take your last life against players like me who are not going to swing life. But, I don't know. It just seems a little bit janky. It seems a little bit gimmicky. I'm going to have to try a lot of different things with that deck when it comes out, and I'll tell you what I think, as it comes up. So he gets ace. He goes up to plus 2,000 for the turn with his leader. Swings 7 at me. Honestly, I'm not worried about it. I've got 2 life, and I can just counter out of it if I need to. I do. Because he has like 3 attacks coming this turn. So I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and counter out the one I know I can counter out of. Swing 7. I'll take it. Get a 2k counter. Swing 7. Or swing 9, whatever. And I think I just take it here. I can't remember. But I can counter out of this if I need to. I've got 3 2ks in hand, a 1k, and Gecko. So I take it. And he should pass. He has nothing more he can swing with. Just waiting for him to pass turn at this point. Okay, now here's the point where he gets in trouble. He only has a 7,000 power leader. Well, he only has 3 cards in hand, and he will not be able to draw that card in life. So it's like, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to swing 7 at you. In this case, I can swing 7 at him 5 times. And the math just simply doesn't add up. There's nothing he can do. Because he has to be able to... and then he just takes that one, excuse me. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go 13. And that's game. And notice what he had in hand. He was trying to go crazy next turn with Gecko Morias. Can't let that happen. You cannot let that happen, guys. But yeah, so good game there. Overall, oh yeah, let me bring up the deck real quick. All right, deck editor. Now give me just a second. GeckoRosa. That's what I called it for Gecko Dressrosa. This is the list here. The Inupes didn't come up a lot, but I think I did use them 1 or 2 games where I was able to cycle me some cards, like a mini Sabo effect. And I have 1 Thriller Bark stage because I just wanted to try it. Ends up being like not worth it because your turns, the turns you play Gecko Moria, you're getting like double this effect anyway from the stage, and you're getting so much more. Let me make sure y'all can see that. Oh, my head's in the way. I'm just gonna turn my face cam. Actually, I can just move my face cam over to here. There we go. Oh. All right, sorry about that. So again, when you're doing these big turns with Gecko Moria, you end up not having enough for Thriller Bark for the Thriller Bark stage. I mean, technically, yes, you do. You could literally activate this for 1 and use barriers. So, like establishing an Inupe or a blocker, the 2-cost Cerberus, or getting more cards in your trash with what's her name, with Sindri. But I don't know, it just ended up not ever being something super desirable that I needed. I would rather just play out my Rebecca's. I'd rather play out my Gecko Moria's into Rebecca's, into whatever else I needed, and just keep up these blockers. And that's where, like, the Navy package is probably slightly better still. And y'all, again, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Or maybe some revisions you might suggest for this deck, because I am all ears on this. I'm open to hear it. Whenever OP06 drops, again, I'm going to the OP06 release tonight after this video, literally in 1 hour after this video. And when that does hit and it's all legal, I'm going to be playing some Gecko Moria. And I'll be playing the Navy version. I'm going to be just straight up front with y'all. But when we lose Great Eruption, it does make me want to dabble into other card pools. Again, I understand how strong Brando is because you can search up your 2K counters, of course, that do cost reduction, that synergize better with your Absalom. It's going to help you get your Borsalinos and whatever else you choose to add, right? But I just want to mention that Dressrosa is good. The biggest knock against the Dressrosa package is I'm running this Rebecca Searcher. Well, it can't grab Rebecca. How weird is that? And I mean, that's how it always is, right? You can't grab cards that are the same name as the Searcher typically, unless it's like a green card that costs every time you search. So, like, one of the main cards you want to grab here is Rebecca, and you can't. I mean, it still throws it in the trash where you can get it back later with Gecko Moria, but that is somewhat of a hindrance when you really need it in a pinch. It still can grab Sabo, Bartolomeo. It's got both of these really strong events that it can combo with, but that's about it. So we'll have to see. It's still in testing. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just a quick little update style video today because I had to blast through this video so I can get to the tournament tonight. And yeah, super excited about OP06. And I'll keep you guys updated on probably the next version of this Gecko Moria list as soon as I get to it, if I choose to go through it. Again, a lot of times y'all's comments have a lot to do with how I go forward with videos. It's like if this isn't received well, like people are like not interested, well, I'll just drop it right there. But if like a lot of people are interested, then I usually or typically I'll do like a part 2, a follow-up video. So all right, I'm done rambling. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, guys, peace.